Just imagine Joe Spinell calling you a moron, like in his Joe Spinell voice, and it's awesome. He just goes down, oh, you moron, and then he just leaves. He just walks on by. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am the Horror Sensei, and today I'm going to be talking about my 5 favorite first-time watches for the month of May. I started this back in my channel last month, and I'm going to keep on going with it. It's a fun little video to do. Every month, at the beginning of the month, I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite movies I saw for the first time the previous month. So, let's get into it. Number 5 for me is Night Game, coming out in 1989, directed by Peter Masterson. It was a pretty good movie. It wasn't my favorite movie. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. The movie stars Roy Scheider, as that we all know from Jaws, right? And Karen Young. So good talent. It has a good cast on it. The plot of the movie revolves around a serial killer who is killing blonde girls at the beach after a certain pitcher wins a baseball game for, I think it's the Houston Astros, if I remember correctly, a professional baseball team. So every time that pitcher wins a game, the serial killer will kill another victim. So it's kind of a cat and mouse detective thriller game. I love those types of movies. This one felt a bit lacking to me on the actual kills. They're very bland. The pacing was also kind of slow, in my opinion. So, a couple things that I didn't really care for, but there's still enough good in this movie for it to end up on this list. Roy Scheider is Roy Scheider. He's awesome. Gives a good performance in this one as the lead detective. He's trying to find the serial killer. And it's such an intriguing concept, too. I really like the concept, the motivation behind the killings. We find out later on, spoiler alert, but it did come out in 1989. We find out later on that the serial killer is actually a former pitcher for the baseball team, but got cut and replaced by this new pitcher. And so every time he wins a game, he like freaks out and gets all mad and starts killing blondes. I mean, that's a fun plot. That's a good plot. Just wasn't executed as much, like, it wasn't executed as best as I think it could have been. That's my only problem with it. Other than that, I highly recommend giving it a watch if you're into movies like that. Coming in at number 4 for me is a movie I never heard of before, and that is The Last Compartment. I got this, if you saw my Horror Pack unboxing, this was the May Horror Pack exclusive that was in the pack. Really, I was really interested immediately when I saw the artwork for this movie. When I saw the synopsis for it, it really intrigued me. So like, hey, I gotta throw that on fast. Checked it out. It's awesome. It is a foreign film. It is a German film. It has like a dream-like sensibility to it, almost. You never really know if it's happening in real life, like if it's actually happening, if it isn't actually happening, if she's dreaming all of this, what is going on? And it carries that sensibility with it the entire movie, which I really dig. I like movies like that. A lot of them came out in the early 2000s. I believe The Last Compartment was from 2016. Like Soul Survivors is one with Eliza Dushku from the early 2000s that I would kind of compare to The Last Compartment. Just to get an idea. It's not exactly the same, but just to get an idea of where I'm coming from. Really good movie. It plays off like a novel, kind of. Has like a novel approach to the storytelling, which, again, I enjoy and I like. It is a slower paced movie, so it's not going to be anything that jumps out at you. It's not really a slasher movie or anything like that. It's going to take its time. It's going to build its story. It has some nice twists and turns if you stick with it. But really, the acting and the storytelling is the lead sell here for this movie. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I would definitely check out The Last Compartment. So coming in at number 3 for me now is The Undertaker. And I watched this movie on Tubi. I found it streaming on Tubi a couple days before the Vinegar Syndrome House Rated Black Friday sale. I loved the movie so much that I instantly had to pick it up on the House Rated Black Friday sale. Really glad I found out about it before the sale happened. So, this movie is awesome. It is a slasher. The lead killer is played by Joe Spinell. Yes, that Joe Spinell from Maniac fame. He's basically the same character here. It is a very dirty, very gritty type movie, and Joe Spinell succeeds and excels in roles like that. In this movie, he plays an undertaker. What perfect occupation to get rid of bodies, right? So the plot is good. You know, he kills people at his funeral home. It's not the toughest plot to follow or the toughest plot to imagine. It's pretty cut and dry, Joe Spinell slasher fare here. Now, what I do enjoy about this movie a lot, like immensely, and I bumped it up quite a bit because of this, is the fact that when Joe Spinell is not slashing people and killing them, he just goes around calling everyone a moron. And it's amazing to me. Like, just imagine Joe Spinell calling you a moron, like in his Joe Spinell voice, and it's awesome. He just goes down, oh, you moron, and then he just leaves. He just walks on by. It's just fantastic to me. That's great cinema. Definitely check it out. It's from 1988. Like I said, Vinegar Syndrome has the Blu-ray of it. If you don't want to spend the money on the Blu-ray, check it out on Tubi. It is streaming there. That is The Undertaker. Awesome movie. That brings me to number 2. And these next two, the top 2, are the only movies to gain 5 stars from me. This one is one I had never heard of before, but my buddy Rob, a.k.a. The Horror Punk, introduced me to it this month. It is from the year 2000. In the year 2000. Conan O'Brien. From the year 2000, it's called Blood Surf, or Crocodilus, spelled with a K. Blood Surf is a fun title. It's awesome. Really fun movie here. So this one has a pretty fun cast. It has that early 2000s vibe that I love so much. All that nostalgia built into this movie for me. The movie centers around kind of a sleazy producer who is making like a surfboarding documentary or movie, I don't know. But he's filming something with it, what he's titled Blood Surfing, in which he's basically dumping chum into the water and then letting the surfers surfboard around the sharks. Sounds incredibly dangerous, and you think that's going to be the killer shark movie, right? No, it's not a killer shark movie. The sharks are fine. The killer is a giant saltwater crocodile who they often typically refer to as salties in the movie. So it's an awesome, think alligator type movie, right? With the giant alligator. This time it's a giant crocodile. Chases them all around the little island off the coast of Florida, I think is where it takes place. So really cool movie if you're into giant animal, the creature feature type films. I thought it was an absolute blast. Definitely delivered one of my favorite characters I had seen in a while. So definitely check out Blood Surf, aka Crocodilus, from the year 2000. Highly recommended. Like I said earlier, I gave it 5 stars out of 5 stars. I do not believe this has a Blu-ray release at the moment. Really hoping that it gets one soon. You can stream it on Amazon Prime if you sign up for one of those free trials of some other service that connects to Amazon Prime. You know how those go. So I did the free trial, canceled it immediately after. No problem. Didn't cost me anything to check out Blood Surf. So highly recommend that one. And this brings us to my number 1 favorite movie I saw for the first time in the month of May. This one's a good one. This one instantly became a favorite of mine, instantly became a classic, probably my favorite zombie movie of all time. Obviously, if we're talking about zombies, The Walking Dead has my heart at that, but it's a TV series. So, my new favorite zombie movie of all time, and that is The Sadness. Oh, man, what can I say about this movie? It is incredible. It is brutal. It is gut-wrenching. It is, like, nightmare fuel is what this movie is. I feel like if you've seen this movie, you know that the zombies can think, they can act, they can talk, they can do things. It's so much scarier to me to have zombies like this, that, you know, they're not really technically zombies that we think of. They're more so just, they get this virus, and like any single impulse that they have, they act upon. Any single thought that they have, they act upon. And it's just brutal, completely brutal. And so I think that's terrifying. Okay, you know, imagine that. Like, if we're talking about a classic zombie, you know, that stumbles and bumbles around, then yeah, that's, you know, zombies are creepy, but I don't know. I feel like you can defend yourself against them better than zombies like this. I'm calling them zombies. I don't know what else to call them. They're probably not technically zombies, but it's a zombie movie in my opinion. So has some amazing practical effects in this movie. Some stuff that's definitely going to make you cringe. Even the most seasoned horror veteran like myself could not help but cringe at some parts in this movie because of how brutal it was and the amazing effects that were given on screen. The directing is phenomenal. The pacing is phenomenal. The acting is, you guessed it, phenomenal in this movie. It does tell a story. Also, it is pretty standard storytelling for a zombie type movie. A boyfriend and girlfriend are separated at the beginning of the pandemic, and they try to find their way back to each other. It's basically the plot of the movie. This also deals with a lot of the COVID-19 things at the beginning of the movie. I feel like it's kind of tongue-in-cheek at the beginning, kind of criticizing those who don't believe in the science or don't believe in mask wearing to protect yourself and others. So stuff like that. I really enjoyed that aspect of it also. So I cannot say enough good things about this movie. Instantly became my favorite zombie movie. Definitely check it out. It is streaming now on Shudder. If you have Shudder, please check this movie out. If you don't have Shudder, I recommend signing up. This movie is worth it. And plus, you get all the other amazing stuff on. Like, Shudder is the best streaming service, hands down. But yeah, so those are my top 5 first-time watches for the month of May. Coming in at number 5, Night Game. Coming in at number 4, The Last Compartment. Number 3 was The Undertaker. Number 2 was Blood Surf, a.k.a. Crocodilus. And number 1 was The Sadness. Those are my top 5. What are your top 5? What movies did you see in the month of May that you absolutely loved? Anything I should check out? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're here in the comments, go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that bell to turn on post notifications for me. It helps me out tremendously. If you want more of me, I can't imagine people do, but if you do want more of me, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm the Horror Sensei. You can follow me on Letterboxd at Husker Sensei, and on Twitter at Haddonfield Sons. Thank you so much for watching the video. I truly appreciate it. And until next time, remember, try not to get French fried. Bye, everybody.